Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your August the 6th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. The title of today's meditation, Spiritual Discipline Builds Good Character. What matters most are the actions we take. Consistent application of the tools of recovery changes us. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 7, Awakenings. My parents sacrificed to send me away to school when I was a kid. They were at their wits' end and hoped that this school could drill some discipline into me, a member shared. They said it would build character. It toughened me up, all right. It made me even more rebellious. It would be a long time before I'd see discipline and character in a positive light again. But here I am, grateful that my rebelliousness landed me here. NA gave me what my upbringing and education could not. You showed me the value of a different kind of discipline, a spiritual discipline. And through it, I've become a person of good character. That matters to me today. Many of us have negative associations with the word discipline. It conjures up memories of the principal's office or worse. We understand discipline to mean punishment, and it does. But other definitions are better suited to us in recovery. As a spiritual principle, discipline refers both to the good habits that support our recovery and the composure and serenity resulting from that work. As with athletes and musicians, our performance in real life reflects the effort put into disciplined practice. When we're disciplined about our spiritual maintenance, we're less distracted by our impulses. Our defects may not call us as often, and we're more apt to listen to that quiet, steady assurances of our conscience or higher power. As we improve our conscious contact, we find it easier to curb our excesses and strengthen our character. As one member wrote, I have a daily spiritual routine that puts me at ease with my emotions. I can practice restraint when it's called for because I'm no longer governed by impulse. My character is defined by my choices. Who I am is what I do. Are my current routines providing adequate spiritual maintenance? How might I strengthen my character by being more disciplined? Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Spiritual discipline builds good character. And I agree. Every time I thought about the word discipline, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, you're in trouble. And here comes the rod, right? Here comes the discipline. However, I do remember my mother saying one time, if you would discipline yourself, I wouldn't have to. I was like, huh? What do you mean by that? You want me to go around whooping myself? And then you won't have to whoop me? No, not at all. What she meant was, if you develop the self-regulation that's required to live in this life, if you put in the effort to figure out how to have composure and serenity in every situation, if you put forth the effort to tell yourself, no, you can't have that, because that only leads to other trouble or other situations that you don't manage very well. If you learn to self-regulate that need for you to have instant self-gratification, if you learn to make up your bed when you wake up, right? Clean up behind yourself so others don't have to, or you don't have to come back to it later and do it. If you learn to manage or monitor how you speak to people and make sure that your tone is always leaving room for others to respond, not talking down to people, not being condescending. If you learn how to discipline yourself or self-regulate yourself, the discipline that I bring, right, as mom, your parent who is supposed to be guiding you and directing you so that you become a productive member of society. If you do it, I won't have to. And that builds good character. I'm raising children, and I've found that for their ages, they know quite a bit. And I do pat them on their back quite often and compliment them about their character for the age level that they are at. Their character is pretty advanced. The problem comes when it's something they really don't want to do. Clean their rooms, jump in the shower. Just that is age appropriate stuff, especially for boys right now. So in those areas, I can't leave it to them to self-regulate. I have to enforce my standard, right? And hope that they catch it as they go through life, how much easier it makes their life. It's the same thing with us. There's some things that we individually self-regulate and we do very well with. We have this spiritual discipline about ourselves in some areas, and it's amazing. Our characters are being built profoundly. However, there's some other areas, and only you know what they are. I don't know what they are. But in a spiritual sense, they could equate to poor hygiene, or they could equate to poor housekeeping skills in a spiritual sense. Maybe you procrastinate. Maybe you have a tendency to overeat. Only you know what these areas are that you need to self-regulate. And as you develop spiritual discipline, you will find that your posture, your esteem, right, your spiritual self-esteem begins to straighten up. Your spiritual posture, or as it says here, good character, begins to become obvious, not only to yourself, but to others as well. So today, your character is defined by your choices. People can look at your choices and determine, for the most part, what type of character you have. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances, right? Where your actions don't tell a person anything about who you are. But generally speaking, they do. So today, if we want to have good character, we need to make good choices. And those good choices, as with the Just for Today, talking about joy coming from within, those good choices, that ability to self-regulate and self-discipline, they come from within you. There's no mama and papa to continue to force us to do anything. They come, if we don't have it by now, we need to develop. Our parents aren't going to make us do anything if they're still alive, right? We need to do it. My name is Mighty Stream, and I've enjoyed talking to you. Have a beautiful day. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.